Hello everybody, Kite562 here with another episode of Tentacle Tales of Terror on this September 10th of 2024, and today's episode 57, the Dunwich Horror. So sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say, and be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this channel. So let's get on with episode 57 of Tentacle Tales of Terror, which is the Dunwich Horror on this Tuesday, September 10th. So for the plot of this story, a man from central Massachusetts visits the town of Dunwich. This town seems to have darker history than what's showing our protagonist. And so for side note number 1, with having read the first 5 chapters of this story, the person or family in question, the Wheatleys and the young boy Wilbur Wheatley, this story really feels like a mix of The Hills Have Eyes along with the Flowers in the Attic novel. Furthermore, with some religious horror hints of the Children of the Corn. Also, this story has a sense of uneasiness crept in it along with me myself, with every chapter revealing its contents. And I highly recommend, if you haven't seen The Hills Have Eyes, the original film from like the 70s or the 80s, along with reading The Flowers in the Attic. I haven't read it, but I've heard good things. So that's an old novel from like the 70s or 60s even. So I highly recommend it. And I have to say, for my favorite quote 1 here is that deep and terrible, the snarling half, mad growls and barks continued, always mounting volume, but with hideously significant pauses. The Dunwich Horror, Chapter 6, page 690. And I'll be sure to leave a link to the book that I cite from on the top right here, so I'll keep that in mind. And so for the second side note, the diary entry from Wilbur and the moments with the doctors/professors discovering what the Dunwich Horror actually is was quite unnerving, if I say so myself. At first I thought some earlier chapters, this made me think that Wilbur was a werewolf of some kind. And so for my final thoughts, this was a great novella of a 10-chapter story, but it also felt like a full-length novel in my opinion. And I'm glad more of these stories keep on proving me wrong. Chapter 8 and 9 of the Dunwich Horror will stay in my head rent-free for a whole while. Also, whenever Dr. Morgan was in the scene, there's a lot of other side characters in the Dunwich Horror, so take notes if you want to keep track of everything. That's how I did it, so it really worked out for me. Also, as I was saying, whenever Dr. Morgan was in the scene, I could hear the voice of Don Knotts coming from him as I read his moments in the dialogue. I don't know why, but Don Knotts just popped into my mind whenever I'd hear his dialogue. It was like this old, broken English kind of way. It was just a really intriguing story as a whole. So yeah, that's my review of the Dunwich Horror for Tentacle Tales of Terror, episode 57. So again, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this channel. I'm your host, Kite562, signing out, and as always, hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.